This is part of a series that I'm putting together for you guys about how to improve the quality of your podcast recordings and repurposable content using Zoom video. So because Descript has an integration now with Zoom, there's a few things that you can do to improve what you get from Zoom. There are other videos in this series, so you can go and have a look at those if you like. But for right now, let's just get stuck into the one that we're doing today, which is essentially just creating a good video snippet out of this Zoom video. Obviously, we've already imported and everything. You'd have to look at another tutorial as to how I've done that. But if you go to the edit sequence area, you can see I've already created a duplicate gallery views. So this is the gallery view, and I've actually just imported it again by going add media and imported it as a new track to the gallery view to a new track. So now I have multiple gallery views, and I've also stripped the audio out of it. So like right click, and then normally there's a detach audio. Again, this is covered in a different tutorial. That first step is covered somewhere else. But now we're at the point where we're like, okay, cool. Well, I've got this sort of going, and I've got my side of the audio and the guest side of the audio. What do I do? How do I make that into a portrait like snippet that I really like? So the first thing that we need to do is actually find the snippet location that we want, like where we want it to kind of come in and start. So this is a common framing down here. Let's say we want to do this, and we want it to be about a minute long. Okay, so I've highlighted everything that I want to include in the snippet. I right click, and then I go to duplicate, new composition. Now that's going to create a new composition within this area, and then I'm just going to call that, snippet from episode draft, so that I know it's not complete. Then I can go through and actually create what I think would make a good snippet. So I would do the editing on that snippet. I would tighten it up. I would get it to under probably a minute long. You can see here that Emily is moving in and out, moving around over there on the video. So she's moving around, and that seems to me like a really good snippet. Okay. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create a portrait video, because that's how it's going to look best. But if you just go ahead and do that, so you can see it comes out looking pretty tiny. If you go to scene, then you can actually see there are actually two gallery views in there because we did duplicate it. This is where it gets interesting and a little bit fiddly. So what you want to do is just drag one down so you can see both of them. You're playing with both. Now, what you're actually going to do is you're going to create one of these gallery views to be just me or whoever, the host, and then one of the gallery views to be just the guest. So if we click on one of these, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually crop. So up here, enter crop mode, and I'm going to just get rid of Emily. Okay. Now I'm so tiny, and this is going to be quite pixelated because Zoom already records in pretty low res unless you've optimized it for video DAWs. So if we go back to crop mode, we'll get rid of this black bar as well because we don't want to play with that. And then we want to do this one, and we want to bring it up. So we've only got the little square. Now we're going to hit done. Now it's just the little square, which is just my video. Now you're going to hit position and go fill canvas, just to give you an idea as to how insanely small I am. Look, I'm pretty small. So if I filled that canvas, look how pixelated I am. So we don't want it to be that big, but we're going to have to do a little bit to make it as big as we need it to be. So then we just start dragging me in to cover about half. You could be exact with it if you want. Okay, and then we've got, all right, so about there. So then we've got my side sitting kind of okay, and now we'll do Emily's side. So we're going to go back here, crop. We're going to crop in here, crop in here. Again, this is not exact, but it's something that you can play with later. Done. And now we're just going to make her big. Move that into the center. And we're pretty much, I mean, there's a little bit of a black bar here, see? So I'm just going to go, okay, move this out because don't need all that. Oh, that's actually Emily's crop. So Emily's crop has a little bit of black in it. So I'm just going to, done. Okay. Pretty much, I think Emily's a bit smaller than I am. I could bring this up a little bit and just widen her up a little bit more. Now we've got a frame of both people. And then you can start to actually do things.
This is a common framing down here where it's like all head and then nothing else.
See? And so then we could go and put the captions in the middle of it. So if we were happy with this, I mean, I haven't done my edit. I haven't done any of the checking of any of the caption file or anything, but just to give you an idea, if we went to captions and we wanted to apply, normally I just apply it to one scene and then I create scenes around it, but I'm not going to do all of that information for you now because that's quite overwhelming. But let's just say we just applied it all to one scene and we want big words and then we want to drag it into the middle. We don't want it to be a tiny box like that. We want it to be bigger, but don't take up the whole thing. Okay, and then we're going to go to the layer. We're going to go to custom, style, and this is the actual text that we're dealing with here. See? So we can pick a different font and we can make it bigger, which I'll make it 120, and we can make it caps. We can give it a border if we want. So I might give it a border of 20. And then it's just downloading the font at the moment. Okay, and so if we then play that back now that the font has been included, go here, play.
So this is a common framing down here where it's like all head and then nothing else.
Yeah, and so we don't want that so at the beginning of it, so we'd get rid of that, tighten that up. Oh, where did my caption go? I must have deleted that by mistake. Oh yeah, there it is. Yes. So it deleted because the caption file was attached to the beginning, to the so I just have to move this so that it's not attached at all. Get that out of the way, and then I can move that caption file back. Okay, so now we're going to just press play.
This is a common framing down here where it's like all head and then nothing else.
All right, and then we're going to just make a few changes so that you understand the sort of changes that you can make. So correct, this is a common. We would get rid of that little comma. This is a common framing. Down here we would get rid of that full stop, all head and then nothing else. And then what are we supposed to do with that? So again, what should be just what are we supposed to do with that when you look at the frame? So if you have a look back now,
this is a common framing down here where it's like all head and then nothing else. And then what are we supposed to do with that? When you look at that frame, how do you make that better?
Yeah, so then that's kind of okay, you know. Again, Zoom is not my favorite because look at the quality of the flippin' video. It's so pixelated because we had to make it so big to get it to work in the actual frame of 2 on screen like this. I wouldn't even attempt to do a single frame with one person in it in this case because it will just be ginormous. Like if I show you now, just so that you get an idea. All right, so if we go whoop, if you do the short key of the slash there, it creates a new scene. And so when I create a new scene, it means I can do something different within that scene. So if I'm going to create a scene that's different framing just for this bit here, then again, I would click over here and I would press the slash so that this is its own scene now, which any adjustments I make would only be made to that scene. They wouldn't be made to the either one, like any of the other ones either side. So if we then look at this now, let's say I wanted to actually just have a frame that's just me now. I could delete Emily and I could make myself position fill canvas and then have a find me. And you can see that my crop actually included a little bit of the black, which I'll just remove. Okay, now position fill canvas. You'll see how giant it is and how ridiculously pixelated it is. And then I move this down because I'm in a different part of the frame and then do this.
How do you make that better? The answer is you can't make it better if they don't move. But this, when she moves to this location, she's in the middle.
Okay, and then if I go, oh, hang on, I only really wanted me to be on the screen by myself just for here because I'm obviously talking about something that she's doing here, then I would just move this scene over to here and it will adjust.
That better. The answer is you can't make it better if they don't move. But this, when she moves to this location, she's in the middle. She's angling it down a little.
Okay. So that is a very quick look at how you could actually make a Zoom video with gallery view actually work in Descript by duplicating the gallery view, cutting out one of the people, and then having you both in. And then if you wanted to have a solo section, then you would create another scene just as I've done there so that it flips between. It does create a little bit of extra interest, but in saying that, the video is so pixelated that it's really not great for socials. People are a bit wise to that now as far as, oh my gosh, this video is so bad, I'm going to skip through it. That's why I mention in my other tutorial to make sure that in the Zoom settings, you definitely put optimize video on. There's a little tick box that you can click on so that you've got the best quality video that you can from Zoom. But in saying that, it will take you a lot longer to process that video, and it will take up a lot more space in your cloud storage. So there's the sort of toss-ups there as to how you want to control that. But that is technically how you create a snippet using Zoom. And then when you export out, just make sure that you go publish, export, and just put that as high as it possibly can be. So in this case, it was only recorded in 720p, so we can only work with that as a metric, and then you would export it out from there. Okay, so that is how you do it. If you want help with this, if you feel like you need some tutoring around how to use Descript because you are a DIY podcaster, then there will be links to our consultations where you can have one-on-one tutoring with a team member here at Bamby Media that will help you just fix little things that you feel like you suck at, perhaps. Alrighty, great. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was really helpful, and let me know how you go. Put in the comments. I would love some links to some things that you've done. It would be really cool to see how you've gone updating your Zoom videos to make them even better.